Mm. Baby Bob do 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 baby Bob do 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 baby Bob do 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 baby Bob.
Elliot, go 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 go, Elliot, go 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 go, Elliot, go 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 go, Elliot Gould. Welcome to Bottle Episodes, Bottle Episodes, Bottle Episodes, Bottle Episodes.
Welcome.
Welcome to Bottle Episodes.
I'm Baby Daniel Crow.
I'm Baby David Piccolomini.
No guest today. Do you know why? We're inefficient at planning, and we had to record one for this week.
No, that's a very normal amount.
I know. The guest dropped out.
Yeah,
he was too intimidated by Baby Bob's raw masculinity.
I did think having a father on this episode would help.
There's a non-zero chance you're a father and unaware.
Yeah, I mean, for sure, but I mean, in the same way.
Just some random lady in Montana or whatever.
No, I was pretty careful about a lot of that. You were there?
I was taking notes.
Dave didn't use a condom again. Don't mind Daniel. He's just there to take notes.
It's admin. It's important.
This is my legacy. Weirdly, the thing I would shout if I got someone pregnant.
In a good or bad way?
It really depends on the person.
Because, someone out there, Baby Bob is their legacy. Whatever ad executive created this, and then it got turned into a TV show.
Yeah, let's talk about, so the show, Welcome to Bottle Episodes is the show where we talk about the terrible television shows by watching the pilot and the top-rated episode on IMDb.
To see if it ever got better.
And this week, it's Baby Bob.
I feel we are kind of cheating with our concept a bit here.
Okay.
Because technically the pilot would be a commercial he did for freeinternet.com. Before the show even exists.
So we should have just watched the free internet commercial.
And then watched his top rated, which were the Quiznos ads he did after the after the sitcom.
So if you guys are unfamiliar with Baby Bob, Daniel,
and I can't imagine anyone would be. Baby Bob's been a cultural force for 25 years at this point.
God, just completely dethroned by the E-Trade baby.
Yeah, what a ripoff. Hey, Pete Holmes, we're calling you out.
Yeah.
We know you single-handedly came up with the idea for the E-Trade baby.
Try and enjoy that money, knowing you've squandered Baby Bob.
So yeah, Baby Bob was
a commercial for freeinternet.com?
There was a talking baby, and I think it was freeinternet.com. There were a lot of...
What was freeinternet.com? I remember...
Who cares?
Okay, that's fair.
There were a million businesses at the first .com bubble.
Yeah.
None of them did anything, but they all made... They all, looked good on paper, and then their stocks were worth a lot, and then they all died at the same time. Baby Bob wasn't even the most popular mascot for one of these companies. The Pets.com sock dog was king. That guy was popular. Baby Bob was very much a tertiary mascot.
So what happened, the show got created. So the show is this 6-month-old baby can talk, and he talks like a Chicago Teamster.
Yeah.
That's Adam Arkin, son of Alan Arkin.
Who, in this show, Elliot Gould plays his dad, and he looks and sounds and behaves so much more like Elliot Gould than his father, his actual father.
Oh, yeah.
I truly believe that Elliot Gould is his real dad.
I mean, they do look weirdly similar.
They sound alike. They have the same mannerisms.
But that might just be a weird thing of like, where...
You think Elliot Gould was... Because Elliot Gould is an actual good actor.
Yeah,
he may have just been trying to... But that doesn't count for the look.
Okay, I would love a TV show where it's a man trying to reconnect with his son, but his son doesn't know because it's two different actors. So it's like... So Alan Arkin, he thinks that Adam thinks that's his dad, but Elliot Gould agrees to do a bad sitcom to bond with his son.
This seems more like a plot in a season of a TV show.
It's vaguely the plot of the show Reboot that just happened.
The one with the CGI people in the computer?
No, that did not just happen.
In my heart, it always just happened. Because I'm an absolute reboot freak.
No, it's the Rachel, what's her name?
Dratch.
Bloom.
Okay.
Rachel Bloom show with Paul Reiser.
I always think Rachel Dratch first. What was the Rachel in the Mummy? Dratch.
When it comes to style, Daniel is Dratchett.
Yeah.
that actually is kind of the show reboot. Is like the dad made a show and then he hires or she makes a rebooted version of it and he works with her on it.
But he knew it was his kid.
Yeah, he knew it was his kid. This one, I do think that would be a fun show. I would like to watch that show of like a guy trying to be on a sitcom while rebonding with his kid.
Who doesn't know he's his kid?
Yeah, who doesn't know he's his
kid? Because the
kid.
other weird thing is like Elliot Gould, a successful famous actor, Alan Arkin, a successful famous actor. So
yeah, I mean,
it's not impossible. They were both successful at the same time. That Elliot Gould.
You think Alan Arkin and Elliot Gould double teamed his wife? Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying, there could have been cheating involved.
There could have been cheating. Yeah, Elliot Gould, very smooth man. He brings gravitas to everything, including this sitcom.
I was saying to you, I love nothing more than actors that have gravitas but have no standards.
Yeah,
and Elliot Gould is one such actor because he'll kind of do absolute trash and bring his A game.
I think it's because he comes from the theater.
Yeah.
And so it's just that thing of like, well, I'm performing.
Yeah.
This should be a performance. But also,
he doesn't have to do this, by the way. This is a year after Ocean's 11. A huge hit that he's in. It's, by the way, they're presumably in pre-production on Ocean's 12. Mm-hmm. Another huge hit that he'll be in.
Yeah.
Like he's not hard up for money. He just agreed to be in Baby Bob.
And here's what I'll say is this show, for what it is fine. More so than a lot of the sitcoms we've watched.
I wouldn't want to watch any more than these two.
Okay, I think the biggest problem with this show is that it still feels like it's 1996 and it came out in 2002. Like, this show feels pre-9/11 in a lot of ways.
The thing about after 9/11, people didn't want to be challenged at all.
That's fair.
They sort of had to retreat to very simple things so as not to have to consider any bigger ideas lest they horrify them.
Fair enough.
This is why Elliot Gould agreed to be in Baby Bob. This is why Ben Kingsley agreed to be in an Uwe Boll film, etc., etc.
What Uwe Boll film is Ben Kingsley?
He's in The Name of the King, a dungeon siege or whatever.
Wait, who does he play?
I can't remember. I know he's in one.
He's not in that. I don't think he's. I love that movie, and by love that movie, I think it's so bad.
Ben Kingsley is definitely in a Uwe Boll film.
He might be.
He's one of those other actors, very much like Elliot Gould, who will just do anything.
Yeah.
Eric Roberts, obviously the king of this.
Well, but
Robert's gravitas has gone away. There was a time where he was legitimately like, "Wow, cool," and now he's just drunk.
There's a weird level. Yeah, Eric Roberts, it's like, how many Christian films can you be? By the way, if you've never IMDb'd Eric Roberts,
I think he's the most credits out of anyone.
We looked this up. He's probably the most famous person to have that many credits.
Yeah.
Like anyone of prominence, because they're like weird extras that have like 900 credits.
Yeah,
because they just paid attention to that kind of stuff. But yeah, no, I really do. We'll get back to Baby Bob in a second, but In the Name of the King, A Dungeon Siege Tale it's a Jason Statham movie.
Oh, I know.
And it's so, he just fights people with a boomerang. Ron Perlman's in it.
I could have sworn Ben Kingsley's in it.
Ray Liotta's in it.
Maybe Ben Kingsley's in 2.
Oh, he might be in 2. That would be really funny.
He definitely worked with Uwe Boll around this time.
Well, 2 came out a lot later.
I know, but yeah.
I don't know what his Uwe Boll film is.
Well, instead of scrolling through his IMDb, you could have Googled Ben Kingsley Uwe Boll.
You're right, I could have, but that would have required me to think about multiple things at the same time.
It's fine, I'll do most of the talk. I guess we're really off topic from Baby Bob.
Yeah, you
For
want to
people
describe...
who don't know, Uwe Boll is considered one of the worst directors of all time.
Blood Rain.
Blood Rain, okay, that was the one. Uwe Boll only made movies because of weird tax loopholes in Germany that allowed him to make these and get stars in them.
And just like have so much money for these movies.
Yeah.
That we're not going to do well.
No.
Yeah, Blood Rain.
And he is Sir Ben Kingsley.
He's the main villain of Blood Rain from 2005. But look, honestly, for a bad movie night, In the Name of a King is a fun one. Burt Reynolds is in it for no reason.
I'll tell you what reason Burt Reynolds is in it. To maintain his SAG insurance.
That's where I figured out that I can't tell if Ron Perlman is the handsomest ugly guy or the ugliest handsome guy.
Depends on the angle.
That's really... Oh, like if he plays a tough biker, he's handsome. But if he plays an archer in a really terrible like fantasy movie, he's ugly.
Yeah, he's handsome when he's the Beast in Beauty and the Beast. Like that's a handsome beast.
Yeah. You're right. That's a sexy beast. Now we're going back to Ben Kingsley.
Ben Kingsley, great film. Anyway, Baby Bob.
So Baby Bob, it's Adam Arkin and what's her name? Oh, Jolie Fisher from Ellen fame. They have this kid, and secretly he can talk. They don't explain it. There's no sitcom plots. It's just he can talk.
It would, yeah. Maybe there is an episode where they explain how he learned to talk, and we just didn't see it. But I would hope that, like,
he gets hit on a different soft spot on his head.
Yeah. Or like a witch cursed him.
With the gift of talking.
People hate precocious kids. It is a curse.
Yeah, that's why kids say the darndest things didn't last.
Yeah. This should have been called Kids. One kid says the darndest things. He doesn't even really say darned things.
No, it's like...
The joke is simply that he talks.
It's also... I think this is the biggest problem with the show. Is that they don't know where to place Bob emotionally or intellectually.
Yeah, sometimes he's very baby-like, sometimes he's adult-like.
Yeah, and like he has like knowledge of concepts that like are very adult concepts. Like he can talk about banking.
Yeah, he's very much a boss baby type.
Boss Baby, by the way, what a weird world that exists in. Like the Boss Baby plots are
I've never seen the Boss Baby.
Okay, so it's a world where there's like a boss corporate world where they have to start eliminating dogs. Because dogs are going to be there's a new breed of dog that's going to be so cute that no one's going to want a baby.
By the way, speaking of Alec Baldwin, Gravitas, no standards. If he did the Boss Baby?
No, that's money. That's also
that same year.
It's animated too.
Kevin Spacey agreed to voice a cat in 9 Lives. Gravitas, no standards. There are other issues with Kevin Spacey, but
yeah, does Kevin Spacey not have standards?
There's some real stinkers in his film.
Sure, but that's different. That's so different. You can have a script be good.
9 Lives.
Yeah, you know what? You're making a great point.
9 Lives.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not even really trying to defend Kevin Spacey. It's just like no standard seems like a weird.
I'm taking the clip
volley.
where you said, "I'm trying to defend Kevin Spacey," and I'm gonna send that to everybody.
That'll be the best way to get people to listen to our podcast. Yeah. Please, you'll never believe what offensive things Dave said about Kevin Spacey. Yeah, no, there are plenty of things you can make fun of Kevin Spacey about. It feels like he's had a pretty good track record.
Hey, at least he wasn't in Baby Bob. You gotta give him credit for that.
Kevin Spacey and Baby Bob playing Bob. So, and then the cast is filled out with Holland Taylor and Elliot Gould playing her mom and his dad.
What?
She's playing her mom.
I thought those were the parents of one of them.
No, Holland Taylor is Jolie's mom, and Elliot Gould is Adam's dad.
Oh, I did not get that from the show at all.
Oh, no, it's literally the first line. Elliot Gould is like, "Oh, so you're divorced?" And she's like, "Yep, finally, rid of that man."
I didn't even pay attention to that. I was like, when's this baby gonna talk?
See, but that's what I'm saying. There were some good jokes in there. That's a fun joke. He goes, "I never thought you guys would end in divorce." And she's like, "Well, we hadn't been getting along for a while." He's like, "Yeah, but you drink and he owns a lot of guns. I just expect divorce."
That joke somehow didn't register with me at all.
That's like a good joke.
And that's pretty early in the episode, right?
That's like,
that's the power of this show. I had already tuned it out. Like a minute in.
That's what I'm saying is like the show feels 96, like in style and tone, but like there are edgy jokes in there, or like there's like the whole like it's like, "Oh, you want this to be entertaining? Like let's bring up gay rights and they'll all talk about it or something." But like the lines are punchy. It's not that I think the reason it doesn't work is because Bob itself is not a very engaging, cute kid.
Yeah, if you're someone that wants to watch like a talking baby show, you're the sort of person that just buys little statues at Hallmark stores.
Oh, the precious moments?
Yeah, you don't want to hear jokes about murdering your husband. That's not your style of humor.
Well, so the show got created, I was looking it up because the guy who created it, Michael Saltzman, he was like, "I had no interest in making a baby show." And then it was just like, "Oh, wait, maybe this will work." And he like pulled some, and so what it is he pulled some inspiration from his daughters, who were like 3 and 6 at the time, to like try and make it like a little more in that. But it's just, the thing is like, Bob itself is not entertaining. I think all the actors around him are very talented, and then it's just like this unnerving baby that's like, I'm the baby.
Weirdly, I looked. This got very good ratings for its first season,
Yeah.
but then like cut in half for the second season.
People stopped watching
really
it.
gave Baby Bob a chance. They really wanted it to be good.
Well, I love the idea that people start watching it and then we're like, you know what? Once the spell was broken, they were like, we can't get into the second season. It is crazy to think that this show probably had such good ratings that it would last for like a decade.
Oh, well, the weird thing is, so the episodes are on YouTube, and the first one starts off. It's Mike O'Malley.
Oh,
And
yeah.
he's like, "Hey, everybody, it's me, Mike O'Malley. Yeah, Yes Dear will be back next week, or whatever show he was on."
Yeah.
So they were just giving it a show's slot that was already successful, just so that people would watch it.
Yeah. I mean,
I guess it worked for one season.
it did. It worked, and then they tried to see if people would follow it, and they would not.
No, they did for one season.
But they didn't follow the show.
No, because Yes Dear was back in that slot the next
Oh.
week. He said, and I believe Mike O'Malley. I believe him because of his time on Nick Guts. You believe him because of his time on Survivor's Remorse.
Survivor's Remorse is so good. I was waiting. I was like, when's the time to bring it up?
Anytime to bring up Mike O'Malley, I have to bring it up for you because you love Survivor's Remorse.
I do
so
love
much.
Survivor's Remorse. It's a great show. It's so good. Guys, check out Survivor's
Snow
Remorse.
Baby Bob.
Yeah, you're right. No, this actually, Survivor's Remorse could have used one talking baby. I think that would have been, and not just the guy who played A-Train. Okay, anyway.
That joke really crushed to one person listening. Oh, yeah, finally. This is the content I listened for. Is that a Stars original that nobody watched? You're hitting all my demos. The plot of the first episode is very simple. They discover Baby Bob can talk. They try to hide the fact that Baby Bob can talk because they're worried that they'll, I don't know, do experiments on him.
I mean, it's that's
Or
even
they think he'll be a child star and it'll ruin him.
Well, so the dad works in publicity, so he's like,
Oh, and his dad hates him because his dad is a journalist.
yeah. So journalist like, how come you won't? I named you Walter, like all the good journalist Walters.
I can't believe you're doing this thing that makes you a lot of money. You disappoint me so much, son.
Well, that actually, even that is very of the 90s. Like, how dare you just do a normal, successful thing that doesn't fulfill you in any way? So they go and he talks to the mom after she's like, I'm tired of just being a boring mom.
Yeah.
And then he talks to her and she's like, oh, I gotta get my husband home. And then he talks to him. And then she lies to him in a supermarket. I think it's the next.
Because she doesn't want him to talk at the supermarket.
Right. Oh, that's why they're hiding it, because he's like, I've been in publicity and you can't. Our life will be terrible for the next year and a half.
Who cares? It's not really going to be that bad. You might get one local news crew.
You're a 6-month-old baby that can talk fluently. There's going to be a lot of experimentation done. There's going to be a lot of. Like, that's a government.
I bet if you Google youngest baby that could talk, you'll be surprised.
Yeah, but they don't sound like the problem is actually that babies do understand language, but their mouths don't work. Like, it's hard for them to pronounce things because they don't have motor control of their lips. So
this is why I don't respect them. It's like so easy to get under control, and they're unable to do it.
Okay, youngest baby to talk said hello at 8 weeks old.
Yeah, so it's fine.
Youngest can say I love you at 8 weeks old. So yeah.
Yeah, and I've never heard of that baby.
Yeah, well, 2023, so it just happened. And also, he couldn't talk.
He could say some words.
It said hello 45 days after she was born. So yeah, I mean this.
You're looking at pictures. Does this baby have star potential?
Yeah, this is pretty.
Then we're rebooting Baby Bob.
Look at this baby. This baby's ready.
No way. That baby is not ready for the screen.
That baby's ready for the
cat that's with it. That cat's got star potential. And I have a Kevin Spacey film that needs a sequel.
That's how you're wasting all 9 of your lives trying to reboot. So yeah, and I that does make sense to me. I would say, this is where if we had our guest, I would have been like, "Would you let your child
Let me fill in for our guest that canceled on us. Ask the question.
All right. So, as a father,
Yeah.
would you let your child be known nationally like this, or
Oh, I don't know. I gotta actually go. I can't do this episode. Good impression, right?
Yeah, nailed it. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of like the thing about it is like I could see both sides of it. I guess for the sitcom conceit, you don't want to do a high concept. We have a baby who's being attacked by scientists.
That's better. You have more comedy opportunities.
This is, I mean,
If you get like an episode where the baby gets a sponsorship and he goes and tries to do a commercial and he's a total diva,
yeah, I mean, that sounds like season 3 to me.
that isn't the other thing I thought of while watching this. How do you do like more than a season of this? Because we're assuming time passes. By the second season, he's a year and a half old. It's kind of fine for a baby to talk at that age.
I love the idea of it's a sitcom where the baby does not grow.
Yeah.
The baby stays the same age the whole
That's
time.
the thing I like about Baby Bob, man.
That's Adam Arkin's line.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I stay older. He gets.
And then it be that. Oh, yeah, because that's how he can talk. He was actually cursed to stay a baby forever that can talk.
Yeah, I feel like after 3 seasons, I feel like the networks were like, it's a talking baby. What more did they want?
Yeah. But so, yeah, and then
Similar to Dog with a Blog, actually.
I prefer Dog with a Blog to this.
I don't know. I liked some of the punchy murder-suicide jokes.
Yeah, if we could get Elliot Gould in Dog with a Blog.
I think he would have done a lot. As, like, what, the villain?
Yeah, he's a new dog in town.
You simply must.
Yeah.
Elliot Gould plays a poodle, not a love interest because it's a boy poodle, but that doesn't stop the other dog from trying to fuck him.
Yeah. Which was half the episodes of Dog.
Yeah.
So yeah, pretty much the first episode, it's a pretty basic setup where they're like, no one can learn that the baby talks, but then at the end, we find out that
Oh, wait, the supermarket
talks to-
lying
what?
was a weird thing, though, because they don't handle it well.
Well, the baby tries to talk to another baby, and he thinks the baby's being rude to him.
Because they didn't explain to Bob that most babies can't talk.
Yeah, they should have explained that to him.
Yeah, that's why we're acting so weird around you, and suddenly you can talk like us. You never.
Yeah.
I guess Bob isn't seeing a lot of other babies. He's like 6 months old. In 2 to 3 weeks of him being able to talk, also, and that was also weird. He'd be able to talk for 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah.
He's just kept it hidden.
Well, probably because the babysitter, you talked to the babysitter. That's what we found at the end.
Yeah.
He's been talking about boys with the babysitter.
Yep.
Like helping her with her boy troubles.
Which, yeah, I mean, do you think, I'm guessing she doesn't get graphic, but also why does he know?
I hope she does. I hope there's a late night Baby Bob episode out there.
So anyway, when he's sticking a finger in my ass, I feel like he just doesn't care about me.
Tell me about it. When my mom wipes me. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's basically the whole episode. They're like, we're sorry for lying to you. There's a new law that was passed that babies can't talk. Also, why does this baby have a concept of law?
Have you ever seen The Boss Baby?
By the way, Boss Baby, spoiler alert, ends with finding out it's just a story the dad's telling. That's why none of it makes sense.
Great.
So I don't know how there's sequels to that, though.
Money.
Yeah, more stories. They find out the stories from your childhood are real. Boss babies aren't true.
Mom, check under the bed. I'm worried that the Boss Baby is under there.
Boss baby's trying to audit me from under the bed. What other baby-based TV show is this?
Baby Geniuses.
Did they do a 3 Men and a Baby?
Yeah, they've done
TV
3 minutes.
show?
No, not TV show.
Oh no, did they do a Look Who's Talking? I feel like they did a Look Who's Talking
Maybe.
TV show. I don't know.
Yeah, that's the thing. There is a rich history of terrible talking baby things. I can't think of any that are acclaimed.
Yeah,
I guess the most acclaimed would be Family Guy.
but that's I feel like those don't count.
You could argue that Stewie has become a main character.
Well, no, he's obviously a main character. Stewie's 100%.
No, I mean, but they're like Stewie-centric episodes.
What I mean more by that is Stewie in a cartoon like that. He's not really like. Although I guess, yeah, I think a cartoon makes it different because there are plenty of talking babies in cartoons.
Rugrats. Yeah.
What about the dinosaurs?
Does the baby in Dinosaur talk?
He's got his catchphrases and stuff.
Oh, well. I was very young when I watched that, so
I also don't know if it's critically acclaimed.
I don't know. Okay, before we go into the second episode, I do have to ask.
Yeah.
Who names a baby Bob?
Should it be Robert?
Who's the youngest Bob you know?
I mean, I grew up with a Bob.
You grew up with a Bob.
No, it was a Bobby. You're right.
Exactly.
Baby Bobby. Baby Bobby
Makes
also.
more sense.
Baby Bobby also works.
Bob is too adult of a name here.
But I think
Not
that's,
only too adult, no one uses it anymore. No one young.
well, I think that's why they were doing it. Is because you get
But the parents named him that.
right, but yes. But I think you're doing. I think the reason they call him Bob. I think the thing is though, even if you called him Baby Bobby for the most of the time, and then all of a sudden he starts talking in that accent, he's Bob.
You call him Baby Bobby. And he
Okay.
talks with Robert Kennedy's accent.
Oi, mother, give me some tit milk.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a weird. Like they did like a breast milk joke.
Of course
was
they did.
like-
It's about
yeah.
a baby.
That's true.
What do we want it to be, huh?
Yeah. I mean, it was gross coming from that accent. That guy, yeah, Ken Hudson Campbell.
Who voices Baby Bob?
Yeah, he wasn't bad even.
No, he does a lot of voices.
Yeah, he was good in it. It's just I feel like they gave him the least to work with.
No, the show very much feels like a death march for everyone involved. Cast, crew, none of them wanted to be there except Elliot Gould, who
Who
just loves working.
He just loves being on stage, not
Yeah.
having to deal with his family.
But everyone else, it's you can tell that their agent was like, you kind of have to do this. You've been turning down a lot of stuff, and there could be money in this, and I'm going to drop you as a client if you don't.
You think Holland Taylor had just done Legally Blonde?
Elliot Gould had just done Ocean's 11.
That's why I'm confused. She was well, no, this is before 2.5 Men, which just gives her fucking boatloads of money.
Yeah. No one involved seems like this was their first choice.
I think also though it's the kind of thing that cynically you'd look at it and be like, well, this sucks, but people are gonna like it.
Yeah. I don't know. I hear a talking baby thing, and I don't see hit.
I guess it's. I mean, I see it in
It's
like.
really based on a commercial. What show based
Yeah,
on a
fair.
commercial has ever really taken off? And they've tried a couple times.
Well, it might be one. Ted Lasso.
All right, yeah, Yeah. you're right. That is an example.
I was like, I know there's one. Yeah, sorry, caveman. There's a new Ted in town.
I will say the difference between Ted Lasso and all the others was that
Jason Sudeikis
no,
attached.
people hadn't really been. He was in like one or two ads ever that
Yeah.
didn't air widely. They weren't on every channel all the time. In the same way, you see cavemen commercials for years, and you're like, "Oh my god, I don't want to watch a cavemen show."
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. You don't want to watch but it's also. I think that's the like.
People don't know that Ted Lasso was based on an ad character
Oh, that's fair. I guess it was like a sketch commercial thing for ESPN, right?
for NBC Sports.
NBC Sports. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what other like TV shows. It gets like Cavemen and stuff like that, but I don't like.
Well, a lot of the '80s cartoons are just commercials for toys.
Yeah, but that's different.
Yeah, good point. There aren't too many of these shows, I guess.
No, it will because
There are probably some that we're just not even aware of.
that's what I was thinking though. Is there's got to be some where we're like, oh yeah, that was a guy who, like, Bob Patterson was based off of like a character. Or no, that was the opposite. He started doing the character after.
Didn't Mac Tonight have a TV show, or am I making that up?
I don't know what Mac Tonight is.
The Moon guy from McDonald's commercials who had a talk show within the commercials?
I don't think so. Maybe
Could have sworn he did.
I'll look it up. Okay, Mac Tonight did not have a TV show.
Boo.
Even with all the McDonald's money behind them.
Mac and Me, though, they made.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it was Marley and Me and Mac and Me as a team up. I'm going to cut all
Marley and Mac.
Yeah, Marley and Mac. That's the moon killing a dog.
No, Mac and Me, I think, was an alien. It was an ET knockoff.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got Uncle Drew.
I don't know Uncle Drew.
So that was it was a Pepsi with Kyrie Irving. It was a Pepsi ad.
Oh, they made that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, where they were old basketball players.
Yep. The Steeler and the Pittsburgh Kid.
Was that based on that Coke ad where he throws him his jersey?
Joe Green.
Was this a film or a show?
It is a put an ad, and then so it won an award, and then they aired it was a television movie about the football team that temporarily adopts a 9-year-old boy who Joe Green takes under his wing and
I
learns
don't
some valuable
think a
lessons.
team of 50+ men can adopt a child. Can I just say this for the record? Listeners, I have no problem with 2 men adopting a child. But 50?
Once you get to 50,
That's too many. 40 men can adopt a child.
this is what the Republicans are warning us about.
But you can't have an entire football team adopt a
What's
child.
next? A football team's going to adopt a child?
Not in my America.
That's actually probably the one way Republicans would be okay with 50 men adopting a baby.
Yeah.
Cavemen. Space Jam was a Super Bowl commercial. And it was Bugs Bunny, and they were like, this is working. So that might be the most successful.
Not acclaimed, though.
No, that's true. Max Headroom.
I did know that. What was it? Pepsi?
Yeah, Coca-Cola.
Okay.
Yeah. I did not realize that was based off an ad.
Yeah. Doesn't strike me as good at selling a product.
No. Hey, Vern, it's Ernest, apparently. Ernest was
Yeah.
I didn't know Ernest was a commercial.
Yeah.
That makes... There you
was
go.
Like weirdly, Ernest would film 1 million commercials for 1 million different products. You just you could hire him to do whatever, and they would have one setup. They would film for 1 million different products. So like local ads would feature Ernest.
Oh. So he was just like, hey, you kind of like this guy, and he'd be like, bubbly tires, dude, get your bubble tires here.
Yep, pretty much.
Okay. So, by the way, I did look it up. Baby Talk was the TV series that they tried to do for the Look Who's Talking movies.
This is a disheartening discussion.
Yeah, that happened from 1991 to 1992.
From what I'm gathering is we're not far away from the Limu Emu getting a TV show featuring a talking baby.
Okay. A gritty detective show.
Featuring the emu?
Yeah.
I wouldn't watch it.
Animated show with the talking emu?
Well, now that it's animated. No, come on,
With
man.
a gritty detective?
No.
He leaves the insurance industry because of his keen eye. It's an insurance commercial, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So he leaves the insurance industry, but his keen eye, the detective on the force sees him and goes, you got a real knack for this,
How
emu.
about we partner you with a talking baby?
The baby rides on top of the emu. All right, we have to cut this out so we can make this.
No, I'm disheartened knowing how many things are based on ads, because there's
I mean,
you try to believe in artistry.
That is a surprisingly low amount.
1 is too many. Take that, Ted Lasso.
Hey guys, if you're enjoying the episode, don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe to the podcast. Also, follow us on Instagram at DPIC Comedy and Daniel F. Crow. Check out my special on YouTube and follow me on TikTok like Grandma69. Back to the Baby Bob episode. Okay, so the second episode, bottle episode, they did not have a bottle episode for this.
No highest rated episode.
No highest
So you picked the one that, of course, you would pick.
Well, I picked the one that I started at the end, because I think starting at the end is usually a pretty good way to go. So I clicked on that episode, and then who shows up immediately in the episode but Jim Rash, and I was like, that's our episode.
World's biggest community fan over here.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, just in general, a huge fan of Jim Rash.
Yeah.
He does elevate everything he's in, including this show.
Yeah. No, he's better than everyone else when he's in this.
Which is saying something, because there are good people in this.
The thing is, he's hungry.
Oh, that's true. This is a very hungry Rash.
Yeah.
So the episode, Baby Bob loves a TV show called something's Lighthouse, or
yeah.
what's his name? Dougie. Dougie.
Yeah, it's Blue's Clues essentially.
Yeah, it's a generic children's show. It's not Blue's Clues because Blue's Clues exists.
Yeah, but it's essentially Blue's Clues.
Yeah. It's one of those ones he talks. So he's talking to them, and it's can you say where this is? Egypt. Great job, everybody. Jim Rash being this like pirate submarine guy. It's a lot like a big red couch. I'd say
Big comfy couch?
big comfy couch. Yeah,
Feels like you were combining Bear in the Big Blue House with Big Comfy Couch.
probably. I didn't have that as a reference immediately. That lady, by the way, doing that weird where she made her legs like a clock, that has had a very different effect on me now as an adult.
Go on.
Well, it's just a lot of flexibility in a way that you could not see. I was like, wow, she put her leg there. Cool.
It's all CGI, dude.
Oh, man. Once again, they're
I'd like to
lying
hear-
to us.
I'd like to hear what the bananas in pajamas did to you as an adult.
Uh,
How do you feel about them?
listen, I really like John Hamm afterwards. Is that something?
I don't think he's in it, but okay.
Yeah, no, I was making a dick joke.
Yeah.
Yeah, out of all the jokes to go over your head reference-wise, John Hamm having a big penis.
Congratulations, John Hamm. And then right here, you're going to insert a lot of applause. So it's 1, 3, 2, 1. Congratulations, John Hamm.
on your brand big hog.
Clap, 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 clap. Yeah! You go, John.
Back to Jim Rash and his decidedly average penis.
We don't know that for a fact.
We don't know that. Jim Rash, tell us the size of your dick.
Write in at
Honestly, no.
questions for jimrash@gmail.com.
You don't even get to email. You have to just write it. You have to send us a letter with a picture. That's fine. Anyway, Baby Bob loves him, and he's like, and then Adam Arkin's like, oh, wait, I know that guy.
He doesn't.
Or we represent him?
No, he just knows that he can get to him
Oh,
because
okay.
he's very connected.
Oh, okay. I
And
thought
he's trying to impress his talking baby son. Yeah, I don't know why he's trying to impress him by being like, oh, I know that guy. He's a baby. You just like pull a coin out from behind his ear.
yeah, I mean that would be as like they literally even say in one of this is what I'm talking about with the Baby Bob thing is like he doesn't have object permanence, but he also can say the words object permanence.
Yeah.
So like he's aware of the concept of object permanence, but not that it works.
I don't know. Like I don't like asking for internal consistency from this show, but I would like a little.
That's what I'm saying is it's not that I need a lot of it, but like people think because it's a show where it's like, hey, it's a dumb show about a talking baby. Why do you need this internal consistency? It's like, because I don't know if the jokes are funny then, like, or what makes sense or like what he's doing that's aberrant.
I'll help you out. The jokes are not funny.
Some of them are.
None of them did it for me.
Okay, but I'm saying it's the nature of, but we don't know when he's like breaking the rule or just anytime he's talking, it's just breaking the rules.
YouTube is recommending me so many episodes of this now. It's like all it wants me to watch.
It's like you like 2 of them, and we know you like watching
I
boring
had watched
shit.
a lot of informative things on YouTube, and this completely ruined my suggestions. Normally, when I'm watching something for this show, I remember to go into private. So that
Forgot.
it won't. Yeah, I forgot. I just watched these 2 Baby Bobs.
That's why it's doing it too, because it's just this is raw information now. Like
Yeah.
I feel like mine has so many shows that like I just get recommended media stuff now, like bad media stuff,
Yeah.
because it's like, oh, he likes watching bad TV shows. It doesn't matter what type they are.
Anyway, Baby Bob meets the guy.
Oh no, the guy Adam goes to meet Jim Rash at
Yeah.
a show, and he's like, "Wow, I'm such a huge fan." And Jim Rash does not have the sense to figure out that obviously it's his kid. He's like, "No, this adult man is a big fan of mine." Also, you didn't like that joke where Jim Rash is like, "Hey, you're an adult man who's inviting me home for dinner." He's like, "Oh, my wife will be there." And he's like, "Oh, great, fine."
No, because it was like the obvious joke there.
I mean, they oversold it for sure, but like that's a funny like concept joke.
I saw where it was coming
That's fair.
from a mile away. I saw where it was going. I saw it coming from a mile away.
Well, so did Jim Rash, and that's why he got off. That's why he footed it off with pass.
But yeah, so Jim Rash just thinks that he wants to represent him for PR purposes.
Yeah, like as an agent, I think he didn't
Yeah.
really understand.
So then he goes to his house to meet Baby Bob.
Baby Bob decide.
Baby Bob has prepared questions to ask him
Yeah.
because he can't talk in front of him. So then they ask the questions. They're dumb.
They're really bad.
At some point, though, the dad ends up convincing him to quit and try to become a real actor.
Sort of. No, it's opposite. He tries to convince him to stay, but he's giving him an excuse because he doesn't want him to represent him or whatever. Because he's like, this guy's just like a random child actor.
Yeah.
Or not. He's a children's TV actor. He goes, yeah, a lot of that happened after they got their bit because he's like, what's his name? Richard Pryor.
Morgan Freeman.
Or Morgan Freeman, yeah.
The electric company.
Morgan Freeman prior to his career.
Yeah.
So yeah, Morgan Freeman. Someone else he named too.
Lawrence Fishburne in Pee-wee's Playhouse.
There you go.
However, Lawrence Fishburne had already been in Apocalypse Now by the time he was on Pee-wee's Playhouse.
Right, and Morgan Freeman did not really get famous till he was like late 40s.
Yeah, Driving Miss Daisy.
Yeah.
He'd done stuff before, but that was his real
and
big
like
breakout.
Unforgiven.
That's after Driving Miss
Oh,
Daisy.
okay. But yeah, so that's like still like he's playing like an old man in those still.
Yeah.
Uh,
But then he ends up quitting, and there's a very funny line where Adam Arkin goes, it's not like that guy's ever going to win an Oscar. 8 years after this, Jim Rash would win an Oscar. I don't know why this keeps getting brought up. We've brought it up on about 20 episodes at this point that
Oscar
Jim Rash won an Oscar for writing The Descendants.
He's my top guest.
With Nat Faxon. Those guys keep showing up somehow or being mentioned on these episodes.
Jim Rash is a worker. He did not get to have speaking. That's the other side of the coin. People who bring a lot of energy to a role but don't get to have taste.
Yeah.
That's like Andy Daly does that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like also he's been able to come, but like there are times where you're just like, oh, Andy Daly's in this show. That's bad.
Got to pay the bills.
Got to pay the bills. Yeah, there is one of the main reasons to want to be a showrunner is you could just hire all your favorite character actors.
Yeah. Great. David Paymer's in this.
I don't know who that is.
He's a character actor.
What's he?
Google him. You'll be like, I know David Paymer.
David Paymer.
Paymer. You'll be like, I've seen him in a lot of stuff. I don't know why he's the character actor I picked. But.
Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of character actors. Oh, yeah, I love David Paymer. Yeah, frequently in The Good Wife.
He's in all kinds of stuff.
He plays he's one of those guys that plays as a judge a lot.
Plays everything a lot.
Yeah,
He's in everything.
He is just like, man, I can't believe I didn't know we had the same name. I had no idea. Me and David Paymer.
It's a common name. I hate to break it to you.
Yeah, but you know that would he's one of those guys that I just never learned the name of.
Now you have.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be real annoying about it ever since.
You're bringing it up.
Oh, it's a David Paymer vehicle.
I just imagine you like getting married and it's in your vows. Somehow.
It's just somehow like the way David Paymer loves playing an annoying Jewish man who needs the deal.
Okay, pretty anti-Semitic way for you to describe David Paymer.
He does play a lot of those guys.
I don't think it's ever explicitly stated that he's Jewish.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, fair
I
enough.
don't ever remember someone going, oh, David Paymer, the Jewish character. I don't remember that.
Isn't he in like Marvelous Miss Maisel?
A lot of people are in that and they aren't Jewish.
Yeah, he plays Harry Drake. You're right. Well, they're coding him. Pretty Jewish.
You're just thinking New York.
He came from a traditional middle-class Jewish family.
I know, but he's an actor. He plays things that he's not.
Yeah, but also he's a character actor. He's getting typecast a lot.
But you said that he plays annoying Jewish characters. There's no reason to assume that all of his characters are Jewish.
No, you're right. But he does play a lot of characters that are like they're Jewish coded looking for a deal.
No.
I think that's more of a problem with Hollywood. Thank you very much.
Hollywood, you're not treating Paymer fair.
Yeah, when's Paymer going to get his due? I mean, he got
an Oscar nomination in the 90s. So
really?
Yeah.
For what? What movie?
I think it's called like Mr. Late Night or something. Some Billy Crystal movie.
Oh, that's nice. Good for him. Yeah, he's in state. He plays Marty Rosen in State and Maine. What do you think? Good Christian
name.
Marty
Good
Rosen.
Christian name.
Leo DeVoe. Morty.
Are you telling me Morty from Rick and Morty is Jewish?
Stan Yankelman.
And these could be anything. Polish?
Dr. Moritz Benyahun.
But you're skipping some.
Benyahun. Yeah, I am. I'm not saying he always plays a Jewish guy. I'm just saying he's been in 177 things. A lot of times he's playing an agent.
Good for David. He's working.
I'm a big fan. I didn't know his name until now, but I'm always excited to see him.
All right, so back to Baby
If only
Bob.
David Paymer was in this episode negotiating for Jim Rash, he
Oh,
would have been
man.
able to
That'd be
have
great, yeah.
It's like David Paymer, the best way I could describe a lot of his roles is he's always over it.
Do you need a sadder Wallace Shawn?
Oh my God, yeah. No, it's in the same class. I don't know if I put him as Satter Wallace Shawn.
He's a sadder looking Wallace Shawn.
There's another guy that I get him confused with. It's not Wallace Shawn. But anyway, I'm not going to... Maybe it is him, and it's just, different roles. That's how versatile of a character actor he is.
No, he has a brother that looks a lot like him as well. But he looks slightly different. So there's another guy that looks
There's
a lot
another
like David.
Paymer?
There's another Paymer, and you're like, that looks a lot like him. But it's not him.
What's his name? Because
I don't remember. I just remember finding out because I Googled him once and there were people also search for, and it was another guy with the last name Paymer, so I looked it up. I was like, the guy looks almost exactly like him.
I tried David Paymer brother, and it just gave me David Paymer again.
Search David Paymer and then go down to people also search for.
Well, see, I'm using DuckDuckGo.
Oh, okay.
We're really destroying a lot of the magic of this episode.
Yeah.
Letting everybody know our process.
Anyway, Baby Bob.
Yeah, so he asks them, that's one of those things where I get the premise that they're going for, but it doesn't feel anywhere near realistic. And I'm not saying it has to, but it has to be grounded, and it's not grounded. The idea that Adam Arkin's going to ask him these very obvious questions,
Yeah.
like the idea he's not just going to look at it ahead of time and be like, oh, we can't ask him or try and explain to Baby Bob at that point, some of this stuff.
Anyway, so he leaves the show.
Yeah.
A new guy takes over. Baby Bob gets sad. They have to explain to Baby Bob that movies and TV aren't real. That makes Baby Bob sad. So
It's
in
where
an
he doesn't
attempt-
trust anything.
Doesn't trust anything. So in an attempt to bring the magic back to Baby Bob, they infiltrate the house with various characters and costumes.
Yes.
And it scares Baby Bob.
They're giant. It's,
Chucky from Rugrats.
which
Blue
is the
from
better
Blue's
Chucky
Clues.
that you can bring in.
Yeah.
Out of the two. But also, that is funny to make him your first scary guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chucky from Rugrats.
Blue from Blue's Clues.
But there's a bear that I did.
Corduroy.
Corduroy.
Corduroy's from books.
Okay.
You're not very literate, I take it.
Not those ones. Too busy reading that weird Asian racist one. That's Tiki Tiki Tembo. Or no, that's the Five Brothers. Have you ever read the Five Brothers with magical abilities?
Mm-mm.
So it's an old story of these five. I think it's literally just called the Five Chinese Brothers, and they can do all these weird abilities. And one of they accidentally kill a kid, and they're all identical brothers. So they keep trying to sentence them to death, and all the brothers have one unique ability. So they come back the next day with the thing to counter the ability.
Great.
Yep, kid gets the
They
swallow.
should have brought
see?
that character to terrify Baby Bob.
Uh,
Anyway, these end up scaring Baby Bob, and he believes in the reality of movies and TV.
yeah.
The end.
That's it. That's all that happens. I do think that was a terrifying way to that's a very scary thing for a kid. But also, why does that kid not understand? He's like, now it's real, and they're like, great, we tortured our kid. Moving on.
Yeah, pretty much. And then they only get 1 or 2 episodes after that.
I don't even think. Did they get 1 or 2?
I don't know.
I think.
Is this the finale?
I think. They had made episodes, but they did not get aired. They made 10 and 11. I don't think they got aired.
Don't worry, though. Baby Bob landed on his feet. He was a Quiznos spokesman pretty much immediately after this ended.
They're like,
But that also didn't last long because he got replaced by the "We love the subs" things pretty quick.
well, I guess he didn't have the pull.
Yeah.
It's got to be weird to make peace with Baby Bob being your breadwinner and then have it
Your
not
milk
be.
winner.
Just imploded a little bit inside. But because that's the thing is he's the guy who voices him he's all right, I guess I'm doing this for a commercial. Now there's a TV show. I don't know if this is really what I wanted to do, but a paycheck's a paycheck.
There's an alternate universe where you can buy a whole bunch of Baby Bob merch at Hot Topic. He just takes off in a post-ironic way.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, 2006, this might have worked in a way where we're like, oh, this is weird.
Yeah, you'd have to make Baby Bob like weirdly violent.
Oh, I think you're
Just
describing
imagine-
Stewie.
Imagine Baby Bob, but like with the Viva La Bam theme. Just something like that.
Hey, kids, we're going to fuck with my parents.
Yeah.
Help, they're molesting me. He just keeps yelling that.
Yeah, that's a good 2006 catchphrase for sure.
No, it would be racist too. It'd be like, oops, El Molesto.
All right, well, what would you change about Baby Bob? Because honestly, I've had enough of this show and I don't want to talk about it anymore.
I think we had some catchphrases like, oops, El Molesto.
Perfect. Me, I would change it by adding David Paymer. Have him voice Baby Bob. Get some real sadness and gravitas in Baby Bob.
Yeah, let's recommend shows.
I'm recommending there's a mini documentary in a couple parts on YouTube from the sports writer and documentarian John Boyce,
Okay.
and it is about the death of the name Bob in professional sports. It has been dying out over the last 50 years, it's been going way down in numbers. It's called the Bob Emergency. Everybody go watch that.
Also, to improve the show, I'd add Steve Paymer as a different
You found
kid.
his brother.
Yeah.
He looks just like him, right?
They look pretty similar
They look
for
very
sure.
similar.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, Michael Saltzman, don't worry, he is doing fine. The guy who made the show, he's doing fine. I feel like I should clarify. He was a writer on The Boys. He's a writer on The Boys.
Good for him.
Sneaky Pete, Halt and Catch Fire, Hell on Wheels, The Middle. He was doing fine. He was also a writer on. He was a writer on Wings. Like, yeah, he's doing fine. He was executive producer on the bad Arrested Development seasons.
Oh no, but that was probably money.
Yeah, I'm sure it was plenty fine. He was a consulting producer on Mad Men.
Anyway, what show are you recommending?
So I'm gonna recommend Bluey,
Bluey.
a different show for children and parents that they both can like.
If they made Baby Bob now, he'd be terrified by a Bluey at the end.
Yeah, they would just bring out a giant Bluey.
Yeah.
It'd be like, oh, I've got some good life lessons for you to learn.
Thank God this is done.